It has begun making its way into Gaza, where, as you know, it's been desperately needed. The UN says it will allocate an additional $11 million from an emergency fund to help Palestinians in need. On the Daily Report last night, Nancy Chen spoke to the co-founder of Gaza Soup Kitchen about what people need right now.
Well, they need water, and the issue is the infrastructure has been bombed. We are trying to get water to some neighborhood, water trucks, but unfortunately there are so many ditches that it's not safe to drive a water truck. And we're hoping that the municipalities, the different NGOs, I'm praying that UNRWA will be back in the ground, UNRWA responding and delivering aid at stake. People need water, they need food. I'm so happy the bomb stopped falling.
CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang joins us now from the North Lawn with more on this. Weijia, good morning. So what is President Trump saying about the next stages of this peace plan? Because it may be more important than all that we just saw yesterday.
Good morning, Errol. Good morning to everybody. Well, President Trump was trying to use that momentum from yesterday's remarkable day to really try to focus on the future of Gaza. And he actually said that most of the hard work, the hardest work, has already been done, and that rebuilding will be relatively easy. But there is so much else to consider, Errol. There are many questions that have to be answered, even with regard to the peace agreement. For example, will Hamas give up all of its weapons? Even though the president has talked about a peace board, there's still questions remaining about how Gaza will be governed. And of course, as he talks about rebuilding, there is a big question about who is going to pay for all of it. Take a listen to what the president said.
I'm pleased to announce that numerous countries of great wealth and power and dignity have come forward to me, and just today and over the last week, to say they want to help in the reconstruction of Gaza.
But we don't have a list of what those countries are, Errol, or how much they are willing to shell out. We do know that regional experts estimate that it could cost about $53 billion to rebuild Gaza. So there are many other points, obviously, to the president's peace plan. Right now, he is still flying high. He just arrived back to the White House a few hours ago, and I'm confident that we will hear more about his vision for what he calls a new Middle East in the coming days, Errol.
Yeah, and we'll stay close to you for that. Weijia, thanks so much. Sure. Now, President Trump on Monday urged more Arab leaders to join the Abraham Accords. This is a 2020 peace deal from his first term between the U.S., Israel, and several other nations. Here's his message.
I hope that every one of the countries that we're seeking, Jared, I hope they join quickly. No games, no nothing. Just join, get it. It's going to be a great peacemaker. It's really going to bring it together beyond anybody's wildest dream. So instead of building fortresses to keep enemies at bay, the nations of this region should be building infrastructure to weave your commerce closer together.
So what do the Abraham Accords actually do, and what might more countries joining mean? Well, the 2020 peace deal was originally signed by the U.S., Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, and then by Morocco months later. It established diplomatic relations between Israel and each of these nations. Now, Sudan did agree to join, but due to the military coup and current civil war in the country, it has not been formalized. Without diplomatic relations, countries cannot formally work on economic or security initiatives. And in some cases, citizens of those nations cannot even directly communicate with each other, let alone travel between those countries. Before the Accords, those dialing with an Israeli country code were even blocked from calling people in the UAE. Now, the Abraham Accords marked the first time Arab countries had established formal relations with Israel since 1994. Before then, Egypt and Jordan were the only Arab nations to recognize and work with the State of Israel. In the 5 years since the agreement, all three countries have begun working with Israel on security matters, including joint military exercises and intelligence sharing. There's also been growing economic cooperation, especially between the UAE and Israel. Both nations traded more than $6 billion in goods between 2021 and 2024, according to the UN. Now, a senior administration official told reporters in a call on Thursday that Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Algeria, and Lebanon are among nations they hope will join the Abraham Accords now that there is a ceasefire plan in place in Gaza. For more analysis on all of this, we now are joined by Mona Yacoubian. She's the Director and Senior Advisor of the Center for Strategic and International Studies Middle East Program, joining us from Maryland. Thanks for being with us this morning. You know, the sense that we've been seeing and hearing from people is that this agreement opens the door now to further expand the Abraham Accords. So is this agreement a crucial first step for that, or was the Abraham Accords a crucial first step for this?
Well, I think it's premature to say that we're going to see additional countries joining the Abraham Accords. Certainly, the agreement is a positive step, but it's a long way from some of the conditions that countries like Saudi Arabia have laid down in order to normalize ties with Israel. Really, they are looking to see significant progress toward aspirations for a Palestinian state. We are far from that. And so I think these calls that these other countries are going to be joining, they're still very, very early.
Well, Mona, let's drill down on that slightly, because as you look at the future of Gaza, Hamas says it won't disarm until it knows what entity, what Palestinian authority, pun intended, would lead the people of Gaza. And we don't know who that is yet. So who gets to decide on that next crucial step?
Well, this is exactly the key question. I mean, the agreement itself is quite vague. And unfortunately, I think President Trump has got it in the reverse. In a way, what happened yesterday, relatively speaking, was the easy part. Now comes the hard part. And so we have really very little indication how it is that Hamas is to be disarmed. What's the mechanism that's going to be used? The agreement talks about a committee of Palestinian technocrats. Who will they be? What's the criteria? What kind of authority will they actually have on the ground? These are all big questions with very few answers.
Now, you are with us because you have the expertise to answer some of the big questions. So I want to also ask you just about the geopolitical landscape in the region, because in many ways over the past 24 months, it has shifted, it's changed. When you look at Syria, the leadership there, Hezbollah in Lebanon, does that perhaps suggest a new type of solution might be possible? Or does that overcomplicate what is already a complex mix?
Well, you're absolutely right. We have seen significant changes from the decimation of Hezbollah in Lebanon, the collapse of the Assad regime in Syria, Iran on the back foot. But these are all essentially still military gains. We have not seen any of these movements change into strategic and enduring gains on the ground. That will require diplomacy and political agreements, and that's going to require quite a lot of hard work. So yes, we've seen a shifting balance of power in the Middle East, but we've yet to see how all of that will be anchored into something enduring going forward.
Yeah, despite how many people want to see it, it's the specifics, the how, that catches everybody up. Mona Yacoubian, thank you for being with us this morning. Appreciate your insight.
Thank you.